We will work on the second layer now. As I was describing yesterday, I am trying to take you into all the deep experiences step by step. Working on death is the first layer, physical layer. Working on all your biomemory, working on very physical layer. First we started working on fear of death, fears and worries related to death. That's the first layer, physical layer. The second, now we will work is allow all your desires and thoughts to come up illogically, irrationally. You see, do not judge whether it is a right desire or wrong desire. The moment you start judging, your mind will stop telling you the truth. It's like the moment you start controlling your kids, they will just stop telling you what they are doing. That's all. It's not that they are going to stop what they are doing. They will only stop telling you what they are doing. You will just teach them how to hide. That's all. Nothing else. So, we will open your second layer. Second layer is the prana sarira. As I was describing, the prana sarira is the place where you store all your desire engrams. All your desire engrams are stored in the prana sarira. Inhaling, holding, spreading, exhaling, cleaning. These are the 5 activities of the prana. Pancha prana. In this, all your desire engrams get stored. That is why when your desires change, the prana activity will change. If you are caught with lust, suddenly you will see your breathing is totally different. You have a different breathing pattern. Every desire has a different breathing pattern, different breathing system. So if you work on breathing, you can open all the desire engrams. All the desire engrams can open up. It can be made available to you. If you remember, I was describing the first death. I told you that person fell into the coma. The moment he fell into the coma, all his desires woke up, became alive, started harassing him. You can see this happening even in your dream state. The moment your logic stops functioning, all your desires will be awakened, alive, and it will start moving your consciousness as it wants. Now, we are going to consciously enter into the same energy field or the same space where your logic will not be standing and judging. Your logic will not be standing and verifying, but all your desires will be alive, activated. I am trying to help you pass through the stage of prana sarira now itself, consciously, which you will go through anyway when you are leaving the body. So we will be doing 2 steps. 1, reducing the power of your acquired desires. 2nd, increasing the frequency of your consciousness. As I said yesterday, raising your height to 30 feet and reducing the height of the desire to 3-4 feet. So you have 2 layer desire in you. 1, prarabdha, the desire which you brought with you. 2nd, agamya, the desire which you acquired here after landing. See, desire itself is not wrong, because your life source is desire. Desire is your fuel. Without desire, you can't even get up from your bed. Early morning you can see Even if you are out of sleep, unless you have a strong desire, you will not jump out of the bed. You will not feel your whole body. Either you should have a desire to do something, or you should have the fear if you don't do, you will miss something. Indirectly, that is also desire. Only desire can get you out of your bed. So desire is your life force. Desire itself is nothing wrong. Nothing is wrong with your desire itself. But the problem is the agamya, accumulated desire. Very beautifully, Mahavira says, when you land in the world, God sends everything you need, including the amount of food. Whatever you need to enjoy in the world, everything is sent. He doesn't deprive you. But we all feel we don't have enough. Why? The problem is, when you land in the world, you have certain ideas. See, this many years I want to live, this much I want to enjoy. For this much only I can take the responsibility. More than this I cannot handle. With this clarity you land. All the things needed for you is sent. Unfortunately, after landing you forget your prarabdha, what for you landed, and you see everything else, everybody else, and start accumulating their desires also. It's like you go to the main market with 10,000 rupees to buy your clothes. Suddenly one of your friend sees you there and takes you for jewelry shop, and you blow away the money in the jewelry. Now for clothes you don't have money, and you want to, then immediately go for credit card or bargaining, whatever, or borrowing the money. Same way, when you land in the body, what for you land, you have enough for that. For your prarabdha you have enough. Unfortunately, after that you start accumulating more desires. The desires which are accumulated are agamya. Accumulated desires naturally leads to the feeling of poverty. You feel, no, this is not there, that is not there, life is not enough, time is not enough, money is not enough, things are not enough. Not enough happens to you when you accumulate agamya. When you accumulate agamya. Agamya is the main reason. Accumulated desires are the main reason for feeling poverty, for feeling not enough. Now, the big question is how to find out what I am living or doing is agamya or prarabdha. See, the innate desires, the desires which you brought, prarabdha, while they are there in you, they will give you inspiration. When you fulfill them, they will give you deep fulfillment. You lived your life. Agamya, accumulated desire, while they are there, they will give you deep irritation. When you fulfill them, complete them, again, the big problem is you will suddenly feel empty. See the quality with the desires which you brought. Before fulfilling, it will be very inspiring. The moment you remember, it will be inspiring. After fulfilling, it will give you deep satisfaction. You lived your life. But the accumulated desire, before fulfilling, it will be giving you deep irritation. You can see many times. You hate that, but you want that. You hate him, but you need him. Sometimes you hate something, means it creates deep irritation. It is not there, but you want it. Even though it creates irritation, you work for it. But once you achieve, suddenly you feel empty. Oh God, just for this I worked so much. Just for this I wasted my whole life. Just for this I spent my life. So even before acquiring, very beautifully, Ramana Maharshi says about this agamya. Before acquiring the desire, even the mustard seed will look like a mountain. After acquiring, even a mountain will look like a mustard seed. That is agamya, accumulated desire. Now, we need to work on prarabdha and agamya. The desires which we brought, and desires which we accumulated. One important thing, when you shake a tree, all the dead leaves, old leaves will fall, and the strong leaves will stay with it. All the fallen dead leaves will become manure for the tree, for its further growth. Same way, when you shake your prana sarira, where all these desire engrams are hanging, your prarabdha will stay with it. The agamya will drop by itself. And the dropped agamya, dropped accumulated desire, will become manure for your prarabdha to be fulfilled. So you will, the tremendous energy which is getting wasted in the accumulated desires. Please understand, with accumulated desires, even if you remember, you will have shoulder pain. You can see in your life. If you just go and sit morning in your office, you don't need to do any work. Just sit in your office morning, 1 hour, think about all these things. You will have a shoulder pain. You are tired already. And you don't want to take any more decisions. You don't want to do any more things. If you work on your desires, suddenly you will see energy which is getting wasted in the unnecessary directions. The agamya, those things will drop. I always tell people, don't renounce what you have, renounce what you don't have. See, there are thousands of things you don't have, but you are living with it through fear or worry or fantasy or your ideas. So renounce what you don't have, that's enough. I always insist on looking into the agamya and prarabdha. This will clear 90% of your confusions, save more than 80% of your energy, because 80% of your energy goes either in unwanted or confused directions, not in a proper way, not in a straightforward way. You don't even know how the energy is flowing because of these accumulated desires. You are so deluded, you do not know what you really want. Please understand. When we go into the experience, you will understand. You yourself will be able to very clearly see which is your prarabdha and which is your agamya. In this one session, you will be able to see it very clearly. Now let us start the process. I will guide you step by step. We will go through some 3-level different process. First thing, you would have been given 2 notebooks. One with my photo, that is for your notes. That for you to take it to the home. Another one, just papers pinned. That is the samskara notebook. Keep it ready and just sit. First, listen to me. Please listen. Later on you can do. Now sit with closed eyes. See whatever you have inside you as desires. Whether it is already fulfilled or unfulfilled, whatever you know as desires. From the young age, whatever you accumulated. Your childhood fantasies or youth fantasies or the old age fantasies, whatever you accumulated. Sit and take accounts of everything. Means pen down vividly. Please understand. Don't show it to anybody, first thing. Second thing, don't look at others' desire and write. You already accumulated agamya from others' desires only. At least when you write, look into you and write. But people are very happy looking through that corner of the eyes. What is she writing? Now at least look within yourself. 2 things. Do not judge. If you judge, your mind won't reveal itself to you. First thing. Second thing, pen down as vividly as possible. You need to know. Only when you record, you will know. Third thing, write in the same language you think. If you think Telugu and English mix, or Hindi and English mix. The same way write. Don't edit. Because many of the inner truths will be revealed to you when you write as it is. Please do not change the language, change the sentence formation, change the grammar. Write as you feel. Usually your desires will be these four classification. 1, sense enjoyment, seeing, taste, smell, sound, sex. 5, sense enjoyment. That's the first layer. Second, name and fame, rewards, recognition. The third, accumulating more than what you need just for the sake of accumulation. Like let me have one house in Kodaikanal. Let me have a house in Visakhapatnam beach. Like this, just for the sake of accumulation. Accumulating, but you will not be enjoying. You will not be using it. It is there. Legally it is yours. That kind of accumulation. Then fourth, desires related to spiritual desires. Understand, sometimes people will not have spiritual experience because of their intense, stressful, greedy spiritual desire for spiritual experiences. I have seen. Their very greed will be so strong, so disrespectful, they will not allow the experience to happen in them. They will not allow the experience to happen in them. So even in that field, wait. Have deep passions. See, for spiritual experience, not only passion, you need passions also. You need passions also. Passion and passions. When both of them are together in you, you will have the experience. So write, even if you have desires for spiritual experiences. Because people have all weird ideas. Yesterday somebody asked me in the Energy Darshan, can you prove I have lost something? Can you predict and tell me and then prove you are an incarnation or enlightened? I said, I am not interested in proving. Actually, if I try to look inside, I will see all the dirt which you have inside. Which one you want me to tell? So you yourself tell, I can support. Otherwise, relax. I am not interested in proving anything. Anyhow, sometimes we have our own ideas. I don't know whether he is here today. Okay. Anyhow, sometimes we have our own ideas. So, even that, spiritually, if you have too much of desires, too much greed, or your own ideas, you will miss it. You will miss it.